So I don't usually make things for other people, but when I do, it's usually on a short deadline because I'm a people pleaser who cannot say no. You get it.
Nah, girl, that's just you.
Anyway, that's what happened here. This bad boy is a black tie dress for Friday. Yes, tomorrow. And my girl who's wearing it is part of the event, so...
bombastic side-eye.
The only direction I had with this was, quote, more sparkle and the color blue, which means I have to dye this beaded fabric. So the dress itself is pretty simple, a clean bodice, an open back, and then at the last minute she was like, make it silver and navy to represent Nevada. So that meant hand sewing all of these things on. But because I couldn't just leave it like that, I also hand sewed a bunch of different colors of blue crystals. And then I took my hand sewing skills to the lining and then to the zipper. But it was worth it.
Was it though?
It was worth the bleeding fingers.
Criminal offensive side-eye.
Look at this dress. It's just stunning. I cannot. Here's hoping she loves it and she posts at least one picture of her in it. Until next time, bye. Is everything for my fashion show made? No. And how many days left are there? Not enough. When I reach out to my models, I usually ask them a little bit about themselves to help pair them with a look. This girl said 2 words: dark romance. And as someone who spends most of her time listening to dark royalty core playlists on the internet, I knew this was mine. And what better color to run from the villain turned lover than blood red? Except black, which is what I layered underneath by recycling the black underlayers of another dress. I am still obsessed with the House of CB dresses. Decided to add that neckline and bodice in. My big mistake is making this dress out of chiffon, and I feel like this could have gone way faster if I had done it out of any other material in the world. But alas, here we are.
Anyway,
we added some drama with the sleeves. I thought I had the perfect trim in my estate sale trim box, but alas, I did not. Ended up going with these rhinestone chains instead. Way better move on my part. And now we are ready to meet our fate as the villain's lover. Bye. This is hands down the most insane, labor-intensive, out-of-my-skill set dress I have ever made. And that is saying a lot because I one time glued 250,000 rhinestones to a bodysuit. I know. This is a bespoke wedding gown. A one-of-a-kind, one in existence kind of gown. I'm only going to show you 90 seconds of this process, but trust when I say it was a multi-week, 12-hour day kind of process. And it did cause me to lose my mind. But I did pick up a new skill, which is baking cakes and decorating them. Anyway, it all starts when my mom met my dad.
Hi, I'm Ryan. In my life, it's kind of crazy.
Just kidding, it starts with a corset. And then it gets fancy from there with an organza, an invisible mesh, and sleeves. And French seams. And then the hand sewing. The hours of hand sewing. The days of hand sewing. The weeks of hand sewing. Trying to match lace. Trying to sew it straight. Literally everything. And if that was not enough, I found these little decorative table pieces that I thought, let's add those to the neckline. So yes, more hand sewing. All the way down the sides. All the way around the back.
2,000 years later.
I ended up with calluses and blisters on both hands. But do you know what's more tedious than hand sewing? It's tulle. The inspiration for this was a Zohar Murad bride, a Dior bride, sub bride, you get it. So I really wanted this big poofy skirt, which of course meant layers of tulle. I feel like tulle is everyone's favorite part, except the person working with it. And because of the weight of the fabric over the tulle, we can double our mass to get what we're looking for. But what are we looking for? That's the question. The skirt is totally detachable. I did that by sewing on buttons and Velcro. And when the sun hit, I mean, look at that sparkle. I mean, even the Twilight vampires would be jealous. I did round out the look with 2 cheap veils from Amazon. I still have to sew them to make it one, but this gown was so beautiful that even before it hit the runway, I had a friend asking if she could buy it for her wedding. And say lovey, this beautiful dress will be off to her new home in no time. Bye. We are down to the wire. And I'd like to say we're absolutely crushing it, but it's chaos. This fashion show look, it's for the boys. Bruh. Yes, you heard me right. This may or may not come as a shock, but I actually don't know any men. And sure, you can insert a fatherless behavior joke here. Let me just beat you to the punch. He's dead. Anyway, the point of this tangent was to point out I'm using a paper pattern, and I don't have a male dress form. Psst, dress form makers, hit me up. So I'm just absolutely wigging this off of this man's measurements. I am aware that I'm risking it all by making a semi-tailored look this way, but I am fully confident it's gonna work out. Inspiration is once again my man Mr. Eli Saab, and if I'm being personal, I think more men should just wear fine embroideries in general. And capes, which is why I included one in this look. To yours and my surprise, I didn't film any of the shirt. Bruh. It has to do with the fact that I get severe anxiety and needle-breaking flashbacks when I work with any kind of beaded fabric. I'm only partially kidding. It's giving like elegant t-shirt vibes anyway. What's interesting about this look is that it's 3 separate pieces: pants, a shirt, and a cape, and one without the other felt really plain. But when I put them all together, after hand sewing these cute little moon buttons, when the whole thing came together for real, it was stunning. So beautiful, absolutely runway worthy, your favorite fantasy character worthy, and I'm obsessed. Bye. I have a love affair with redwood trees. And before I explain, this is where I got my mannequin. Passerit. Now, growing up, I spent 95% of my time at the ranch, a colloquial term for the place that kept my horses. And that was among redwood trees in Northern California. It very much reminded me of, yes, Twilight.
You're impossibly fast and strong.
And low-key or high-key, I've been missing those dense forests lately. And so what do I do when I miss something desperately? I make a dress. I'm so glad you aren't sick of my laser cutter yet, because she is once again coming out on the town. The hide I'm using this time to laser cut is definitely peculiar, but since I got it for free, I don't want it to go to waste. I use the same cut files as I used for this dress, and it actually just worked out super well. We really don't get to see this style dress on plus-size bodies often, or really ever. And sometimes when I'm sketching things, I'll just see the look on a certain body type and decide it looks better on that one. And I think that's the case here with the redwood dress. I will be the first to admit I did not get enough green chiffon, and I will probably add more later because the vibe for this is like super fairy. There is really only one way to get those vibes, and it is hand sewing. So, you know, buckle up and make sure to have a corgi break at the end, or the middle, or the beginning. Who's counting? And if hand sewing isn't enough for you, you will need to hem every edge, which is also time consuming. Ages ago, I ordered these leaf-shaped sequins. They were meant for like a desert flower look, but I felt this dress needed them. Anyway, if you've made it through all of my tangents, congratulations, here's the final dress. It looked gorgeous on the runway at the Reno Fashion Show. Steph wore it amazingly, and it has inspired me to make more looks like this. Bye. When I tell you I almost up this look, I am not exaggerating. Let me explain. I, like 95% of artists, have trouble with editing. I can't tell you when less is enough or more is enough. I can tell you I'm like a bird and I love shiny things. So with that logic, more armor, better. It was bad logic. Me and Miss Laser Cutter got plenty of quality time on this project. Days and days and days of cutting. And while the laser ran, supervised of course, I made use of my floor space to start on what I was hoping to be a very simple dress. It was not. It's turning out everything about this project was not simple.
Just really stressed out and I don't want to girl boss anymore.
But as a Capricorn, I have to stick with it. The stars and my stubborn said I had to. A single layer chiffon dress meant French seams. They are called that because they look like a baguette. Just kidding, I have no idea why they're called that, but they look great. And they do look like a baguette. Anyway, French seams everywhere. The entire neckline was just 38 inches of elastic. And I attempted these big dramatic sleeves, of course. So here we are, stunning dress, stunning bodice, and my dumbass says let's add the hip fins and the shoulder pieces. It went from fashion to costume in 5 seconds. Anyway, I salvaged the look by adding elastic on the sides, and I sent her down the runway on Sierra, and she looks stunning. Let this be a lesson. Learn to edit. Bye!